Hi everyone, Armoured Pants here, and I have another review for you of a premium tank. This is an American premium, the Tier VIII T26E4, or the Super Pershing, one of the more popular premium tanks around in Tier VIII. Let's have a look at the tech spec using blitzhanger.com as always. So let's type in here T26E4 and we will go straight to the tank. This is a great premium tank. It has a credit coefficient of 190%, so therefore as premium tanks go, it's really good, and along with the Lowe and Lowe, it has the highest credit coefficient in Tier VIII, so it will earn credits for you. It's a medium tank, but it does play somewhat like a heavy, or let's say a heavium, because it has a medium tank gun, 90mm. It has a medium tank rate of fire. It does medium tank damage, as you can see. The medium tank reload of 6 seconds. But it's quite slow, it's cumbersome, it accelerates and has a top speed and moves very like a heavy tank. So therefore you need to be cognizant of that. It's not going to fly around the map. Let's say for example like another Tier VIII premium medium like the Panzer Blitz for example. This tank very much moves like a heavy tank. It also has low muzzle velocity, but it does have decent gun handling. I wouldn't say great, but it's decent enough. So therefore it can be utilised for long range sniping, especially if you use supercharge and a fine gun as we have here. As we mentioned earlier though, it does not move like a medium tank, so getting into those sniping positions can take some time. And it kind of moves like it's in mud. It feels like it's in treacle, treacle tracks, let's say. However, one of the key advantages of this tank is that it has a frontal armour. It is troll frontal armour. I mean, just look at that. It is phenomenal. It has heavy tank front armour, and it will bounce shots from the front all day long. So if you can get front onto the enemy in this thing, you will bounce shots. In particular, if you're up against light tanks or medium tanks and you're front onto them, you're going to bounce shots all day long. Little or no armour on the sides or back, medium tank armour as you would expect. Therefore, you will be penned on the sides and back. But if you're front onto the enemy, you will cause them all sorts of trouble. Even big tanks with big guns like the IS-6, IS-3 find it difficult to pen this thing front on. The armour on the lower plate is slightly weaker than the turret and the front plate, but nonetheless even that's difficult to pen. I would run 2 repair kits, but it's not 100% necessary. You can run engine accelerator if you like, and you kind of need a little bit in this tank, but that's your decision. But I always run 2 repair kits because I don't like getting stuck out in the open and exposed, especially the Tier VIII when there's big guns out there like the Borsig, etc. So tactics, what to do? Well, how I play this tank is I try to support the other mediums. So you're not as fast as them, you don't accelerate as quickly, so let them go out in front, spot up to the enemy, then you come, support them, put your armour out in front of them, protect your meds. You'll get bounces, so let's say you're acting as a shield for the meds and lights, and this can be a very effective combination. Put yourself out in front, make sure your front is facing the enemy reds. Their medium and lights will bounce off you, you can pen them and let your medium and light tanks fire some damage. So basically you're like a meat shield. You're just going to get out there, put that massive trollish armour in front. Your sides and back are vulnerable, so therefore try to protect yourself. But try to play that kind of shield role in the game. It's the most effective. Now here we are here. We're going to have a look at the gameplay. There's a mastery game here in the Super Pershing. And as we discussed, what we're going to do here is I'm going to go to sea. I'm not as fast as the light tank and the medium tank with me. When I'm going to support them. Let the RU hopefully spot up. I will then come in my supporting cast role, and I'm going to try to shield them, or rather take some damage, absorb the shots. As we've discussed before, when we discussed game philosophy, the total pool of hit points on each team is important to conserve. That's why bouncing shots is almost as important as doing damage. If you absorb a shot and it bounces, not only are you not doing damage, not only are you not receiving damage, you're also conserving damage that could have been done to your enemy. Now at the start of this game, I kind of fluff a few shots here. As you can see, I had bad start to the game. I had been playing the Panzer Mutz beforehand, and I think it took me a while to adapt, because obviously the gun handling on this is not as good as a German gun. So there's another fluff shot there. But you know, I'm adapting now, and then I eventually snap one off into the back of the LTTB. So as I said, just an illustration of the fact that the gun handling of this is decent, but it's not as good as, say, as a German tank, for example, like the Panzer Mutz. No, ironically that's Swiss, and or let's say the Panther II or any of those tanks. But the gun handling it's okay. It does the job, and it's far better than, let's say, a Russian tank. Now, time to move. So we've capped here, and now I want to move and open up new fields of fire. And I'm going to try to again put this frontal armour in, and also maybe see if I can use the medium tank rate of fire to put some damage into the enemy coming up on the flank here. So I'm kind of doing a traditional medium tank job, coming up flanking, and I'm going to try to clear their mediums. Going to try to clear this T43. And then maybe we might be able to also cap B as well, which is kind of classic medium tank play. And if you remember the medium tank guide that we discussed on channel, the role of the medium tank at the start of the game, the role of the medium tank during the middle of the game, and then at the end of the game, I'm sort of doing exactly what a medium tank should do during the middle of a game here. You can see here, I just wanted to show you this. The gun handling is decent, right? So you wouldn't do this with a Russian gun, but you can do it with a German gun, of course. And there you see, look at that bounce. This is what I'm talking about. And that's a big gun, right? That's a tank destroyer, the new Chinese tank destroyers. And there you see, once you're front on, bounce, and you're going to bounce shots all day long once you're front on. Especially if you're moving, rolling back and forth like that, makes it even more difficult for him to pen, and then the Gravedigger takes him out. So as we were saying here, I'm just doing sort of exactly what a medium tank should be doing mid-game. Again, you see the gun, it can be very accurate. I'm just putting it through the eye of a needle. Really, that's the only part of that VK100 I can pen. And now we're in typical flanking position, and we're able to farm some damage, clear off the reds, and really doing an effective job for our team. 4v2, we've taken it down to 3v2. I'm going to back up here. Going to see if I can help the Gravedigger with the VK100. Put another shot into the side of him. And again, that probably wouldn't have gone through without the muzzle velocity increased through supercharge. And just to show you that once you're close up, this tank, the gun handling is good, right through into the vulnerable part of the VK again. Now on into the turret when it's on the side. And now hopefully we can clear this guy, because he's got help coming, and I clear him there. Nice shot, as you can see. So just to emphasize the fact that the gun handling is decent on this tank. If you're playing Russian tanks mostly, you'll find it fantastic. If you play German tanks mostly, you'll find it a bit of a downgrade. But it's mid-range and is decent and will deliver, especially if you know where to hit, as we did there with the VK. Now, a bit of game tactics here. I actually have conserved my hit points very well, but I'm going to shed some to clear this T32. And the reason is I've been looking at, this is a supremacy game, and I've been looking at the clock, and I wanted to count down. I wanted to clear him, get us up towards 1,000, and there we go. Game one. So that's why I shed some hit points to clear off the T32 rather than playing it safe or trying to go around. I wanted to clear them off fast, get the kill, and push us up towards the 1,000, and that. So some game management there. And when you're playing supremacy, you always need to be cognizant of that. Towards the end of a supremacy game, it's as important to look at the clock and the points tally as it is to look at the minimap, which is key to encounter games or during the most part of the games. But when you're playing supremacy in the last phase, looking at the points tally and looking at the clock is extremely important, and that's why I decided to shed some points to clear that T32 and that. So that was some game management there. Thinking there isn't often a better substitute for it. So there we go, almost 3k of damage, 4 kills. But really, I mean, I've done more damage in this and not had a mastery badge. It's the base XP that delivers the mastery badge, as we've said before, almost 1.25k of base XP. So let's have a recap. This is a fantastic premium tank because of its credit coefficient, 190%, therefore it will farm credits for you. And that's what you want a premium tank to do. It's to earn credits for you, right? And it's top credit earner in Tier 8, joint top with the Lowe. But of course, you have to win the games to farm the credits. You don't farm the credits if you lose. So therefore, you need to be cognizant of the fact that it moves like a heavy, especially uphill. Oh my god, it almost stops. It's slow from stop-start too. It feels clunky, as I described it, as treacle tracks. But of course it spawns as a medium, so therefore you need to play from there. You know, there's no point playing it. You can't say you're going to play from heavy from the start because you spawn as a medium. So therefore, as I said, support your lights and meds. Move with them. You're going to be behind them because most of them are going to be fast on you, but move with them. Let them spot up the reds because they'll be ahead of you. And then once spotted up, you're going to be up against lights and meds from the other team. Put your armour out front. Try to shield them. Put that troll armour into the front of the enemy, into their face, absorb those shots, get those bounces, and hopefully then you and your teammates will be able to clear off the reds, meds and lights. And also then if it's a supremacy game, you can cap, and therefore you can clear off the flank, clear off the enemy reds, meds, cap, and then you move to support the heavies. Classic medium tank play, as we discussed, during the middle and end of the game, coming in around the flank, coming up behind the enemy, doing some damage, just as I did there. More or less perfect execution of medium tank tactics in that game. So cheers much, hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it useful, and I guess all that remains for me to say is pants off.